Viral Hit is actually pretty deep. Viral Hit is a webtoon anime that depicts the undying issues of bullying fully rampant within the youth of Korean society. Some may say that this is merely an action webtoon that is solely meant for entertainment. However, one cannot deny that through its narrative, themes, and character dynamics between the bully and the bullied, the webtoon delves into not only the complexity of societal pressures, personal struggles, and unchecked aggression. It even goes beyond and portrays the harsh realities that happen outside the school. Delinquency, poverty, and even organized crime. Viral Hit may have started as a simple series that delivers the message of standing up against your bullies, but it has since then launched itself into myriads of motives that depicts the darkness that lies within today's youth. Nowadays, you often see a lot of manhwas and webtoons that more often than not portray Korean schools like a goddamn war zone. There's a delinquents and gangs who will beat the shit out of you if you don't give them their money, usually very obsessed with fighting. Supposedly mean girls who will verbally abuse and hurl you with insults. And there's finally the so-called pranksters, whose pranks are almost often something that is either violent or malicious in nature. At its core, Viral Hit is a powerful commentary on bullying. Right from the first chapter, we are thrust into a stark portrayal of the various roles and factors that contribute to bullying in a classroom. The series say it themselves, violence is not the only form of abuse. We immediately see Yu Hobin as this scrawny kid that has always been bullied by his peers. There's Pakgo, who is a very famous YouTuber, their version of YouTube, with over 700,000 subscribers, and is earning lots of money from these distasteful pranks of humiliating Hobin. There was also his cameraman Snapper who bullies Hobin to climb the social hierarchy as he receives backing from Pakgo. We see how much verbal abuse he inflicts upon Hobin, even to the point of insulting his sick mother.
てめえの母親まだ生きてんのか?
There's Rumi, who ignores Hobin's predicament because she's benefiting from Pakgo's fame to start a YouTube channel of her own. There's also Moonsung, who simply does not give a fuck, apathetic towards what is happening because he feels that it does not concern him, and is strong. Finally, there are the students who are not really involved but also chooses to ignore what is happening in front of them. Throughout the years, bullying has been a prevalent issue in all countries no matter how developed it is. However, South Korea has always been publicly recognized to be in a whole nother level. There's really no exact statistics or measurement for comparison when it comes to bullying cases, but a recent documentary published by Al Jazeera revealed that studies show nearly 1 in 3 students suffer bullying from peers at school. What I really found frightening here is that these kinds of things happen a lot even in real life. Several rising influencers of today's age are like Pakgo. People who have problematic behaviors or sometimes just downright evil are given massive platforms despite their actions, bearing absolutely no consequences at all just because of their fame. However, as they say, life is a wheel that goes up and down. Hobin would later be inspired of this whole YouTube craze to start a channel of his own, where his concept is fighting bullies. What I found interesting here is the surprising complexity of the relationships between characters. Snapper, in the first chapter, who we see was bullying Hobin, is actually the catalyst for Hobin's creation of the channel. They, bravely holding kimchis and pots, fought each other while accidentally streaming it, ultimately making it a viral video of over 11 million views. Like one of those dumbass TikTok videos that goes trending. Later on, Snapper becomes Hobin's editor / cameraman, and even a very close friend that stands by at him at all times. Not all characters are inherently bad nor good. The dynamic of the bullied and the bully often gets intertwined as some of the bullies and delinquents that Hobin has defeated in the later chapters actually becomes his allies. Make no mistake, however, as this is not your typical Naruto bullshit moment, where the enemy realizes they're wrong and their personality transforms into that of a potato after the arc. People who will always be social creatures and progress takes time. The character development throughout the series is outstanding because it's realistic. People do not change overnight. It is a long process of understanding and accepting one's own mistakes. Those who befriended Hobin, who may not have really cared about him and only had ulterior motives, later on ends up growing. and genuinely supporting Hobin's ideals against bullying as they spend their time with him and sees his raw sense of justice. Bystanders like Rumi, who has never thought of the implications of their actions and merely treating everything as simple roughhousing, later on ends up learning the heaviness of their actions and the despair that comes with bullying and peer pressure. Napper, who becomes Hobin's closest buddy, is usually a coward and a cheat who will do anything to get to climb the social ranks, but later on develops to be someone who will absolutely stick with Hobin until the end, even if he's getting beaten up to death. There have already been countless webtoons that have portrayed bullying and delinquency aside from Viral Hit. However, what makes Viral Hit unique amongst all others is that it is one of the rarest webtoons that is set within a grounded universe, or rather is set in our modern real life. No systems, no cheats, no hacks, just same old reality. While there are lots of embellishments here and there, all the recurring characters are usually people who are just really good at fighting or martial arts. What I also love about Viral Hit is that it does not shy away from the harsh realities outside the school. Yu Hobin is poor, which is what led him to become desperate for money in the first place. His mother is sick and confined in hospital, and he has no choice but to work tirelessly, juggling several part-time jobs. In an age where he was supposed to be holding toys and gadgets, he was holding dishes and a spatula. His life is just filled with problems that are relatable to many of us that you just can't help but root for him. Hobin's transformation throughout the series is one of the most satisfying developments that I've seen in a while. The slow ascent from being a scrawny kid not knowing shit to slowly learning various practical fighting techniques that he can apply on his succeeding battles is a very enjoyable ride. What I love even more is that he's not talented. He's not your hidden super genius archetype which has been overused by lots of shows. We have Munsong for that. I would say he has quite the aptitude for fighting, but what matters is that he works hard and genuinely practices to apply the skills that he learned.
浜健、お前はどうしようもないクズ野郎だ。
In some ways, Viral Hit has become a populist fantasy for those who are being bullied. It's a story that resonates deeply with anyone who has felt powerless in the face of unfairness or injustice. At the heart of this narrative is YouTube, which becomes Yu Hobin's weapon against the torment and abuse that plague his everyday life. He gives hope to a lot of his subscribers to the point he was dubbed as the King of Losers, a title he did not want at the start, but a title that he will come to acknowledge and raise. I do not want to easily judge or make hasty conclusions about a certain nation. However, I personally believe that these tropes of bullying exist because they are deeply rooted from real-life experiences, perhaps even from the authors themselves. For so long, I myself have doubted the credibility and the sensationalism of these tropes. Are they real? If so, just how much is real and how much is exaggerated? Unfortunately, these things truly do happen in real life, and there's a need to acknowledge the reality behind them. While the physical fighting might be over-dramatized, emotional abuse and verbal assaults depicted in the media similar to this are often uncomfortably close to reality. Anyways, that's about it. See ya.